Nominambo, Queenie Nulona, Catelege, Chacoshe Kutu, Nyaneka, Eumbola Caca, Kufe Mope, Ula Todoka, Malini Antuka, Show Anutuka, Amine Figo, Loye, Chapono Kulyaba, Goma Kule Queen. No, no, vas a la Takuna Lucian, no, no, Cadona, Parida,
Hiboko kurgadi kudode chafi bota pasera jike oshero ike da terekere adiko shupo au puona tago okwe hikanwa katereke fire ngongenda fire ngongenda kwe kapani fire ngongenda fire ngongenda kwe kapani.
Every day we bring you the hottest music. Ultimate music It's some outrageous conversations.
Did you get no Amber it's said? So are you saying Namibian men were not romantic?
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Huh?
Yes.
Why? What are the values of Namibian men? Is there anything good about us?
Yeah, I'm striking a black.
She is striking a black.
You know what?
Let's get to the real thing. The mornings on Informanté Radio. The sound for a new age.
Yes, indeed. The real deal is right here in the studio. Good morning. Welcome to the Morning Mix 821 on a Tuesday morning. Moro tate nevela.
Opetuka.
Babenduka nou nawe.
Na.
Daar sê.
Hey, luister. Semi. Wil jy nie opklim tot Maria kom nie?
Nee, soekie vir Semi so nie.
Nou gaan ook man.
Ja, laat dit so gaan. Which Semi are you
Kom sit
talking
man.
to?
Kom sit.
There are two Semis in the studio.
Yeah. Yeah, please.
Small Semi and big Semi. How you guys doing this morning, Tate Nawanes?
I'm good, man.
Oh, Tate Unon.
Hi, Tate Unon.
Tate wa Kluno.
Tate kwanon.
Hey.
Jelek mos nga vandag my bra.
Like tate nou is it?
Oh, ai. Dis worried.
En ek check jy jou body warmer.
Yeah, man, I got the body warmer on this morning. It's getting cold.
Net was Lani son.
Never.
Yeah. No. There's a reason I'm.
Never had most revitaligo. Did you guys watch the Boondocks? Did you the Boondocks? Okay.
Oh, Uncle Ruckus.
Yes.
Yeah.
I got revitaligo. It's the opposite of what Michael Jackson has. I used to be white and now I became black.
No. There's a reason why I look like I'm dressed like a Lani today. Okay. Yeah, I'm. It's a half day for me. So I'll be gone.
Birthday?
I'll be gone. No, I'll be gone by 12 o'clock. No, it's not my birthday.
Want toe gaan jy 12 uur?
Hey, it's Independence Day today.
Ek sien.
Jy gaan stok ook op die gin wat jy so gaan soek het vir ken jy for how long?
I'm seeing Happy Independence Day in the comments. Ek wonder how. Was that? Is it Botswana?
Yeah.
Who's Independence Day today?
So to all Namibians out there, happy Independence Day today.
Julle moet tog skam wees.
Happy Independence Day.
Sis man.
Yeah.
You guys are celebrating the return of alcohol.
I was sleeping at Tops last night. I just came back.
Speaking of
Here comes the queen.
sleeping at Tops.
Yeah.
No muche kama skave.
Yeah, no
One of you has
connection.
to stand up, one of you has to
Cheers.
move.
I'm out.
Nee, Maria. Hey, hallo.
Hello.
What's up?
Where do you want to go out?
You come here, so you were not here yesterday. Then you come here. No, you want. Come sit, alsjeblieft.
Good morning.
Guten Morgen. Wie geht's?
Sy sal leer. She comes early, she has to sit.
I ain't complaining.
That's it.
Okay. Morning, Maria. How's the weekend? Your long weekend.
Moving.
Did you find your toothbrush?
Yes, I found it. Thank goodness.
How did the moving go yesterday?
It's still going. That's the thing.
It's still going.
Yeah.
Where did you move to?
Ooh.
Excuse me. Hello. You like telling people where other people are living.
You tell them where you live. Sorry.
Elisenheim, Katutura's finest.
No,
Where are you staying, Maria?
Luister eens zo,
Sorry,
Maria.
guys.
She moved back to Finkenstein. That's why she doesn't want to tell us. Oh.
Sammy, come back. Sammy, go fetch your stoel, man.
Ons het jou gemis, ons moet jou bietjie bully.
Luister.
I don't
Maria.
deserve this.
By traditional law, you're not supposed to move during the day.
Yes, you move at night.
You move at night.
Why?
There's too much jealousy, envy
When people see your stuff moving.
with black
Kyk
people.
maar haar couch
Kyk
en
maar.
haar yskas.
But I was moving like, I think we finished like around 11 yesterday. So
Last night. Yo, that's
11 in the.
You were supposed to start at 11.
actually 11:42. So when I got in my car, I looked at the time. It said 11:42.
That's the time we normally move out of the house.
So that's the time we move.
Yes.
When
Okay,
people are
that's when I
asleep.
finished.
That trend started in Katutura because people were sneaking out while the landlord is sleeping.
Bad luck.
It's like, I haven't paid my rent this month. Let me just move my stuff
I know
while they are
people-
sleeping.
I know people that moved midnight, but it's not at night. But it's not because they're superstitious. It's because they're trying to run away from the land.
Exactly. The landlord comes to look for rent tomorrow. The key is in the door. Says, "Sure, I'll check."
Mary, I can't believe that you betrayed my trust here.
What?
Because you promised me that you
You're gonna.
coming
Yeah, but I
outside.
didn't find anything.
Huh?
The one place that I saw in the Lisenheim that I liked would have only been available on the 5th of June.
Lift your mic a little bit.
Jy kan ons net gewag
Kom
het.
sit net hier samen.
Jy kan ons net gewag het. Wat is jou probleem? The 5th of June is like when is the 5th of June? 3 days
Yes,
from
5th
now.
of June, but I need to be out of my place. Dat ek weg gaan bly, meneer.
Jy kan
Hela,
nie
sit.
gevra het.
Hammer.
Yeah, I would have moved
Sit.
with the side chick.
I would have been able to explain to my wife that, you know,
Met al my bagages. Anyway, why are we talking about important
Ons
issues
stel nie belang nie.
to talk about.
Nee.
Can't be talking about me.
Yeah.
So where do you guys want to start the conversation this morning?
It's Independence Day today, just for your information.
It's not Independence Day, man. Khan.
You know it's Independence Day today.
I'm still you know what? I'm preaching to the choir here. Let me just keep quiet.
Yeah, thank you. Shut up.
I will shut up.
Shut
You know what? It's fine.
I don't know, I posted this thing on our group last night. There was this band marching to tops in South Africa on an amapiano beat.
So today is the day off.
Yes.
Yeah. The queue started at midnight already.
Oh, you guys didn't sit on our group, but Martina, our reporter, on her way to work,
Yeah.
did a video.
Oh yeah. She showed
Yeah,
me
which we will post right after this stream. Of Amanier, you are distracting me. Shines.
I will throw that phone at her.
Shines. You are distracting. You are distracting.
Your phone is making noise, or
Yeah, somehow the sound is too loud. So I'm trying to adjust the, I don't know what happened.
then go outside.
Is it the streaming cell phone that does that?
I'm sorry, it's just I can hear myself as I'm, so I can't. Yeah.
Kokota
Alright.
piano. Yes,
Yeah,
I
okay. No, it's just
piano.
it's distracting. That's why I can't.
Let me distract
process my
myself by
thoughts.
singing a song.
Sorry, guys. So she did a video of all these cars.
Hello, man, guys.
Like guys, Abakwetu, please.
Hey, you guys, I will send you for disciplinary hearing. This is nonsense.
Yeah, Peter man.
Yeah.
For
How
sake, man.
chaotic the studio.
Yes.
I didn't miss it.
Okay, let's keep it moving.
Rachias, they are not done. I'm telling you, they're not done.
Must we wait for them to be done?
No, let's just keep it moving.
The problem is it's distracting.
Now, where's the sound coming from, Anu?
Alright,
For me.
I was saying our reporter did a video this morning on Northern Industry. All these cars lined up with crates, but it's like a long queue. Which leads me to believe it's business people that are probably stocking up, and this at the breweries in Northern Industry. Makes me believe it's business people. But my question is, how did they run out of stock during lockdown? They was not supposed to sell.
The stock was taken by the soldiers.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Because
This is how I know they were still making a way
yes.
during
And-
lockdown that they're out of stock.
And Maria, they were selling their last stock on the 27th of March.
Yeah, they sold everything out.
Yeah.
On the-
That's why they don't have any stock.
or some of them drank it themselves. But you know, it's funny, the whole logic of
Exposing themselves.
going to the queue up at 12 o'clock already.
No, yes, exactly. And the thing is, it's only going to be open at 12.
Yeah, so for 12 hours you'll be standing in the queue.
It's alright as long as they get. Like, I saw the guy in the front. I was like, "Meneer, hoe laat het jy gekom?"
He's been standing there since last week
He
Friday.
probably said one of his drivers, go queue up already.
Just park the car there.
So
Don't
yeah,
worry.
we're gonna see queues longer than the national elections
Yes.
True, eh?
today at warehouses and bottle stores.
Yes.
We will obviously we will be bringing you the footage because I promise you it will be very interesting. Lucky people will have their masks on, so you won't be able to identify your cousins in those queues.
Yes.
But yeah, this is what's going to happen today.
Apparently, if you only rock up at the stores at 12 o'clock, the only thing you're going to find is Tafel Redla. We're going to buy everything out.
I mean, I spoke to my brother has a bar in Karatura, and I spoke to him last night, and he was telling me, my broer, my order for tomorrow, it's now today, is probably 3 or 4 times his normal order that he has placed, I mean, over the years on a weekly basis. So the rush would be very, very, very big. So, yeah. Die mense is dors.
It's insane. But guys, please do remember that you still cannot go sit at a bar and drink.
Yeah.
You can still take away and go home.
Yeah.
And go do whatever it is that you feel like doing in your house.
Makaranda mbira.
Me?
Yeah.
There's no soccer. I don't see the need to drink beer.
Oh.
Yeah. Thank goodness I've never been a beer. I've tried.
Why?
But it just doesn't go down.
Then you're not drinking it at the correct
But you understand what I'm saying?
No,
right?
I understand what you say. I can't.
I've really tried.
You're not drinking
I've
it
tried
at the
to
correct
like it because
temperature.
I was.
Hello. You're not drinking it at the correct temperature.
Trust me, I have.
I've tried everything, Maria.
Yeah, because I thought, when I was in just after high school or during like my matric, I thought, if I can get myself to like beer, it'll be cheaper on the pocket.
Economic.
It just didn't happen.
Like
I tried
a real high school.
to guzzle a bit, but.
Yeah, no, I think I always preferred beer because it was a bit lighter on my system. Like spirits they are a bit too harsh on my liver, and I don't necessarily like the taste of wine. So
I'd rather do like wine. I can do.
Yeah, wine.
Yeah.
Wine also.
Like
I hear me hoofpyn man die volgende oggend. Dis hoekom ek kom nie man.
Yeah, but you're correct. I can't do too much wine.
Yeah, a glass or two and that's it.
That's it. We don't know how to drink a glass or two. Ons ken 'n bottle of.
Nee, is daai lokasie maniere.
Ek is dan van die lokasie.
Nee. But Luke was talking, wasn't he in studio telling us he drank a whole bottle by himself?
Yes.
When?
Not too long ago.
Yeah, no. I mean, Maria, I wouldn't drink it in one sitting. I would like drink a glass or two. That's stunning.
No, but you're talking about drinking. I think you're telling us on that particular day you had a.
Yeah, it could be, Maria. It could be.
It has been known to happen.
It could be.
Occasionally.
But today, I just need to go and get myself 2 bottles of gin.
Kom ek stuur jou man, ek sal jou e-wallet.
Sy e-wallet.
Nee, ek sal e-wallet.
Wat wil jy?
I will look. I'm not gonna put my things on the air.
I
just want these things like sweet, like Moscato, just like things like I can just have in my and wine, just like I can have. Not for my guests because you're not getting that luxury service. Just to have it on my shelf.
What is Moscato?
Red Moscato.
What is it?
It's a type of.
Taking for me.
It's like a sweet. It's almost.
Like I drink any alcohol.
No, it's sweet, but yeah,
Nee?
but it's called a Moscato.
Die boere noem ons daai goed slitsappies.
But it's not sweet wine, no.
Yeah?
It's not sweet wine.
It's not sweet wine. Okay. No, I think it's probably these 300 ml bottles.
No, it's a proper bottle.
Just send him
bottle.
a picture.
Yes.
Ay mukurwaji.
Send him a picture.
Yeah, send me a picture.
Like I would actually have waited until the weekend. I think maybe by the weekend most of this influx would have started to die down. But
But the shelves will be empty.
now they will stock up.
No, they'll stock up.
Trust
They have
me.
ample time to stock up. So
They'll stock up.
I'll go probably on
But
Friday.
alcohol is coming from South Africa, right?
But they know you guys have been crying for alcohol for months now, so I'm sure they're stocked up enough.
Maria, those trucks are already running from South Africa as we speak.
That's true.
Yeah.
But the drivers are in quarantine. So.
Aye.
Anyway, can we move past the alcohol topic?
Yes,
or
please.
Read comments or
Yes, please.
yeah.
No, we're not reading comments now. We're going to read comments later on.
Oh, all right.
We're talking about Neville's friend.
Ai, waar begin ons waar kan ek hoor?
What friend?
Nee, wacht, Jay.
No.
Hey, shut up.
No.
Shut up.
Never what? What did your friend do?
Nee, start your story, you.
No, there's no story. I wanted us to get a story, but
Nee.
apparently there's already a story. Wat gebeur?
Like normally what you do when you recuse yourself from things.
But I
you
only
go
recused
like
for
this.
5 seconds.
Maria goes was like, so warde. Hey, I'm not talking today. So
What happened to Neville's friend?
Neville, like he was telling me about Amos here. I like he doesn't want to tell me the rest of the story.
Wat het
now.
Amos gemaak?
no,
Maria, give us the details when Lost Map at Neville 8.
No, I haven't heard
lost
anything.
mate.
I haven't heard anything. You're getting so embarrassed.
Yeah,
And
lost
Amos
mate.
is actually, come and text him. I'll just say, Amos, what happened?
I
I hear something is happening in your life. Must I put it like that?
No, I just hear there's a front page story.
There's
or
news.
whatever,
But like
About what? You can't.
Jake, julle sal nie vir my die hoek
In what
uitkry nie.
newspaper? Okay, tell me what newspaper. I'll Google it.
Nee, ek stel nie belang.
Okay, what newspaper did you see it in? Let's talk about this.
I'm not too sure. I think it's probably on the on the front page of the Namibian. It's
we don't have the Namibian in the
Oh,
studio.
okay, but I can check on the Namibian Twitter.
But of course the most interesting or not the most interesting, but one of the rather eye-catching headlines on the front page of the Namibian this morning is the indemnity form
Yes.
that the parents are required to sign
hey.
when they are sending there. So basically they are telling us, bring your kids back to school at your own risk.
Maraka story yetu.
Yeah, I see on the story ni. I don't get Neville.
I didn't read the article, but you know the headline is
yes.
enough
to
to get you
Yes.
going.
Yes, because my thing is, they didn't consult us about schools opening as parents.
Yes.
They didn't actually have a room full of, or even send out a questionnaire or whatever. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. They didn't even give those questionnaires to the schools for us to access them from the schools so that we can have input on whether we want schools to open or not. So if you're not going to have the discussion with parents about kids going back, so you demand that the kids go back, but I have to carry the risk.
No.
Make it make sense.
Yeah.
It's just not going to happen. I would not sign something like that.
And they haven't told us what it is that they're actually doing to get the schools ready. All I keep hearing is potable water. The schools must have potable water. Is that all we really need? Potable water for the kids to go back to school?
Yeah.
Really?
You people were complaining about your kids at home. Ne?
No, we're complaining about our kids getting an
These
education.
people must just go to school because we are tired of them. Tired. Now government,
Yes, they must go to school in a safe environment.
Yes.
under the leadership of Agaba, decided to open schools. No julle probleem.
And in fact, in South Korea, they opened schools. And then they had to, I think, close them a week later.
Yes.
Because they saw a spike. In,
Oh yeah, ne?
Yes,
Yes.
a spike, a huge spike in coronavirus cases. And like you said, there's stocky like a kanash.
Even what's her face? Estomich was telling like she's in Norway, right? So we were chatting on social media, and she was telling me the school where her kids was, like there were kids testing positive, and they were trying to quarantine, I guess, the teachers and the kids that came in contact with that kid, which I find it difficult. How do you even determine that? If this kid has been at school the whole day, how do you determine, okay, he only came into contact with Neville and Maria, so we're only going to quarantine Neville and Maria and whoever the teacher, one or two teachers or whatever. And like, it's just a mess. Canada decided to close their schools for the rest of the year.
Klaar, one time.
Yeah, it's not, and I foresee the same thing happening to this country.
Yeah.
It will probably open, and then we will see.
Hey, Maria.
And the health minister will be reporting case in this school,
Yeah.
that school,
Hey, Maria.
that school every day, and then they'll be like, oops. But
Maybe.
you've already signed an indemnity form, so government is in the clear.
Yeah, it's.
Oh, no. We're not doing that.
At owner's risk. No, that's not going to happen. And by the way, our constitution says if your child is of school-going age, it is illegal to keep them at home. You must provide them with an education.
Oh,
What?
yeah.
Hey, Chris wil weer iemand boer voor.
Sorry, I've been looking at your mask. Where did you get it?
Don't worry.
Is it Informanté Radio or Informanté News?
Just Informanté News, I think, or Informanté.
No.
It just says
ah.
Informanté.
Please explain to me how the editor of Informanté News doesn't even know such masks exist.
Yeah, a guy walked in here. I think
I'm still selling Informanté newspapers. You don't know, even though you stopped printing them. Now this was I think a project that Bond Life wanted to do when we were going into lockdown. So they created this. It's not actually a mask even, it's a cover. It's something that you sort of put over your mask. It's very light, it's printable material. So they printed some of this stuff because they obviously wanted some.
Where's the other one? The other
some
one was lying there.
There were a couple. There were like 4 or 5 here in the studio.
Oh, okay.
Come on, Mary. I'm sorry. Does that say Informanté? Where did you get that?
I don't remember signing off quotations for the
We
printing
touch
of
up
masks
Informanté mask,
with the
man.
branding. That's all I'm saying. I didn't sign off anything.
Come on, the quotation. Who paid for that thing?
Yeah, guys.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Anyway,
So kids are supposed to be returning to school tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah.
the high
The
school,
seniors.
11 and 12. Right?
Yes. And how's this going to work for boarding school? I mean, if I stay on the farm and my child, like I send him to Windhoek I mean, he's in boarding school, but
Yeah.
more of Batokal.
Yeah, and
And,
also in the coast, obviously.
Yeah.
I foresee in Walfish Bay, they're obviously not opening schools.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yes, what happens to the kids in boarding schools? I'm sure they're going to make a provision for them, but then they're going to be left behind.
Yes.
And how fair is that?
I don't think these things are being well thought through. I mean,
And what is
that's
the
my opinion.
Yeah, and what is the percentage of kids in boarding school? Because I'm sure it's a large percentage.
Yeah, it must be a large percentage.
Yes, yes.
Must be a large percentage, and yeah, we don't know what's going to happen. And as you rightfully say, some of these kids are probably in the villages. They're on farms at the moment.
Yes.
They have to come back.
Yeah,
Is there any provision that was made for them?
Are they going to come stay in the hostel?
Yeah.
Is there going to be supervision? How exactly is it going to work?
Yeah, no?
Even South Africa, who has a lot more resources than our small economy, at some point realized that they were just not ready to reopen the schools. It's like, because not everybody was ready. Some schools are ready, and then a majority
What's the
of them are
status of South
not.
Africa now? They remain closed or what?
With
The schools.
the schools.
They
Yes.
remain closed.
Yes.
This is like it's ridiculous to open 12 schools and then 300 schools
Yeah.
are not ready and they're still closed.
In fact, some schools were burned down during lockdown. That's South
Already
Africa.
South Africans really
No, we don't
comments
want
on
to
it.
come.
Anarchy.
Like, yeah, this school must also go.
Maybe there are South Africans among those protesters in America.
Yes, and why?
I wouldn't be
Why didn't
surprised.
you start with that, by the way?
We spoke about that yesterday, and
yeah,
but it's
I
obviously
tweeted.
it's an ongoing
Yes.
talk, and it's
And I see
obviously
there's,
something
I think on the home front, the big thing right now is obviously the gallows.
Yes, I saw
There's a petition.
your social network was going on yesterday.
Yes. So there's this. I didn't even know it existed. That's how ignorant I
Yeah,
am.
me
Clearly.
too.
Oh, exactly. We don't go there.
Yeah, you must
Be-
go there.
Yeah.
Because of things like that, we
Because
don't go
of
there.
yes, I would have been so
Okay,
triggered.
Kuma.
In any event, so I'm sure everybody's up to date. But for those that are not, there's a gallows. It's called the gallows. It's basically a tree with a noose, like hanging.
Yes.
Hang pipe.
That
Yes.
was set up in 1978, I believe, but it still exists now. The argument is it was set up as a joke to keep the town clean and the beaches clean. But there's nothing funny about it.
Yeah, I was also trying to-
I think the Namibians, especially the younger ones, are now advocating, signing a petition to have this painful reminder. Because if you look at a hanging pole, like we know who was hung.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we know who was hanging
And during
who.
our own history, we don't have to go back look at slave. During genocide, there's still pictures of Nama Herero people hanging.
Yes.
And I actually thought I thought that perhaps might have been the only period of hanging, but there's actually reports of some Sopo plant fighters that were also hanged. Not a lot, but there's 2 or 3 accounts.
Yes.
So it's also happened not that long ago, and it's just a painful reminder. And just like that Rain Khan statue, sorry, I never really bothered to learn how to
Right and
pronounce.
Dangmal.
Right gedenkmal.
Yes, I've never bothered to learn
Ongoro
how
no
to
Mundu,
pronounce
that's what we
it.
called it.
Ongoro no mundu.
Yes.
Yes. Stuff like that has no place in public spaces.
Listen, Maria.
Okay, and
Gwen Lister said you guys must Google. Don't you people have Google?
Oh, and
Huh?
Gwen Lister came under fire. It's quirky, she said.
I support Gwen Lister.
Yeah.
She said
So-
you must Google.
Yeah, so Gwen Lister got in trouble because she obviously said that it's a quirky monument that was set up as a joke to residents to keep the town clean, and that nobody was actually hung there.
You see, Neville, that's it leads me back to the conversation we were having yesterday when we were talking about Mr. George Floyd's murder, right? And racism. Non-racist white people, right, should stop apologizing for their racist counterparts.
They shouldn't take the brunt for
Stop being apologetic. Stop trying to justify it, and instead try and help them.
Yes. That's what I'm saying. You have to you can't be part of the problem. You have to be part of the solution. I think for a lot of people, I think that was what disappointed. I mean, Gwen Lister is largely seen as an ally.
Yeah.
For the black cause.
Yes.
Mostly because of her work during colonial time, apartheid era. Yes, how she was in full support. I mean, at a cost to herself and others. I mean, the Namibian was bombed and so forth.
Yes.
So it wasn't an easy
undertaking for
her, but she took it all. I think it even started before that. She started with protests in South Africa where she stood on the side of the black people. And so she's largely seen as an ally. So for her then now, especially at the peak of us protesting social injustice, this is a very sensitive time for black people. Very sensitive because of what's going on in the States, but how it's trickled down to other parts because it's our blackness, and this would have been the most insensitive time to, number one, tell black people to Google stuff. We don't have to Google anything to know how we feel about it. I don't have to Google anything to know that the news in a public space makes me uncomfortable.
Yes,
wholly uncomfortable. So that condescending tone, number one, but also to minimize the trauma and say, well, it's a quirky monument. It wasn't actually, nobody was actually hung there. It was just to let people or to remind people to keep the town clean. The town clean.
I just think the symbolism of it in total is just wrong.
And what happened to just don't litter signs?
Yeah, just don't litter.
I mean, if we had such a big issue with the monument, the Reitendingmang, if we had such a big issue with that, which was basically just the statue of a general or whoever he was on a horse, how do you think we're gonna find a freaking noose funny? Jy verstaan mos Afrikaner humor, because I saw somebody say, no, that's just Afrikaner humor. It's
it's Afrikaner humor, but it's Afrikaner humor in 1978. We know what other humor they had in 1978 and how that worked out for us. Okay, so I mean, we had signs up during the same era, blank netbot.
Net blankes. Slechts blankes. Slechts nie blankes.
Yes. We had beaches with those type of signs. We had beware of the natives signs.
Beware of the natives.
Yes. So, I mean, this was during apartheid. This symbolism was put up during apartheid. Nobody can convince me that there was unintended meaning or behind
unintended harm to this.
Yes, to black people.
Let me ask, because the issue of tearing down some of these monuments and statues, I heard when they were going at it in the States. And of course,
South Africa.
No, I wasn't listening to the South African issue, but in the States especially. And the argument was some of these things are part of our history. Yes.
I heard that.
Some of these things are part of our history.
Always a nice veil to hide behind, to keep that little legacy.
It is a part of our history.
Okay.
No? Maybe it doesn't belong in a public space.
Yes.
Belongs in the museum.
Yes, in a museum.
And then move it to a museum.
Yes.
But this is. Let me be. This topic also came up yesterday. But we shouldn't be removing
parts of our history,
Yes,
censoring
but-
history.
Yes, because now here's the problem. A lot of these statues and monuments, right? They basically honor the oppressor, or they glorify our oppressors. Like that
Right.
that was a symbol of the Germans that died on the side. You know, the people that died on the side of the Germans during the genocide. Not,
And it's a symbol of their victory.
it's a symbol of their victory, so
Yes.
to say. And so it's like naming a street von Bismarck. It celebrates our
Kurt von
colonizers. Yes. Luderates.
Adolf Lutritz.
Yes. So
Von
Hetties.
Caprivi.
yes,
Von Caprivi.
von Caprivi, exactly.
Hetties.
So now this conversation's coming, and I need to say something very much on very quickly. In Germany, there was a process called the denazification of Germany, where they quite literally rid not just Germany but Austria, of
Austria.
any Nazi ideology, whether it's in culture, whether it's in politics, whether it is in economy.
Yeah.
It is everywhere, right? In the press, judiciary, society, everything. There was a process of denazification that everybody understood the intention behind it, where you cannot have Nazi symbolism anywhere ingrained in any part of their society. When we talk about decolonization, we get attacked. So you understand, and by the way, I'm speaking to the Germans in Namibia. You understand.
Starter.
You understand denazification in your country, right? And how that was important.
Yes.
Maria, maybe sorry to interrupt you, just to add to that. I read an article about 2 weeks ago. There was an auction in Swakopmund where Nazi memorabilia was sold.
Yes. And they still have
Swakop.
the flag. What is that?
Swastika.
No.
The Nazi flag.
No, the flag, apartheid. With the said West Africa. What is that flag with the three? It's not a Confederate flag. What?
Yeah, the apartheid flag.
The apartheid, the flag that they had during apartheid.
Yes. I don't know what it's called, but I know the flag you're
Steve
talking about.
Hofmeyer loves showing us that flag. It's banned, but it's banned now. But yeah, the memorabilia. I always struggle.
Memorabilia, yeah.
I always struggle. I have to do it in two.
Writer to Denkmal.
No,
Say it again.
that one we can forget. I really
Your
don't.
father is German.
Lost that hood. And so anyway, so we understand, or Germans, but that's why I always say Germans in Namibia are a special breed. They understand the denazification happening in Germany, and for the Jew people especially, how that was necessary to move forward. When we talk about decolonization, and it is a very important, decolonization means removing all these monuments. There's no history in us looking at a monument celebrating our colonizers, our oppressors. Those things, you put them in a museum, and if I want to go see them, I can go there and view and get that history, but not in public spaces.
Yeah.
That's why the gallows has no place in a public space. Absolutely not. And to call it a tourist attraction, I'm very, very perplexed that that's how you're trying to attract people to your town using very racist symbols. Symbols is how you're trying to attract tourists to your town. No.
All right, let's read some comments. Let's bring in the community. By the way, thank you guys for joining us this morning and every other morning that you guys take the time out to spend about an hour of your morning with us. We start with Glenda Bailey. The colors on the dome in Swakopmund is the colors of apartheid that Maria is talking about. Orange, blue and white.
I have no idea. Thank you for that information. Now I want to Google.
Orange, blue and white.
Lucia Shibede saying then schools must be closed. Even 150 from Frankfurt, etc. is coming. If you read, I don't blame government, but it already 30 years. Go and see toilets, water taps at schools. There, I blame them. Okay, I'm not sure what your train of thought is, because there seems to be a lot of things in that one comment. Anyway, Binohange de Souza, any idea who the more than 4 in Parliament are mentioned by when the leaders? Wait, what? Hold on.
I saw that one.
When the Linus is back?
When the leaders must be quiet.
What? No, what did he say?
Ventilinus, can I please?
Look at how excited Neville gets.
Ventilinus was like, we are tired of, the fact that we as gay people, we are being marginalized all the time in this country. I mean, there are people in Parliament at the moment who I know who are gay. Why are they not speaking up on our behalf? Woo! Virginie, when I saw that video, I was like, hey!
Do you know why news like that will excite Namibia? Because we're deeply homophobic. It's only in Namibia.
Yep.
It's only in Namibia. That's what. It's only in Namibia that you will hear there are gay people in Parliament, and it shouldn't be a surprise. Just by the way, that there are gay people in Parliament. There are gay people in this building. There are gay people. There are gay people in your family.
Yeah.
Forget it.
You must understand. Those gay people in Parliament are probably. They don't want to be known.
Yes, closeted gays. Yes, and that's because this society doesn't allow for you to come out and express yourself.
So when the leaders must shut up.
No, I'm not saying I'm saying it's not his place to reveal who those 4 people are.
No,
but to say that there are people in Parliament that are gay is not a secret. Okay, the reason it's
allegedly.
It's tea for Namibians.
It's alleged.
Yeah.
Yes. Allegedly.
No, there are gay people in Parliament, but the reason it's tea.
I don't believe it.
You must test.
Why?
You must test the water first.
Why? I mean, there's a better chance of having gay people in Parliament than having feminists in Parliament.
Alright, let's read comments, guys. Vistori Amadilla.
Jade for Maria, you triggered Maria again.
No, I don't understand the things that excite Namibians. I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah.
Like,
Maria.
who is gay, who isn't gay cannot be what we're still trying to talk about in 2020.
Maria says you don't just jump in, you must test the water first.
Read the room.
Oh, okay. Vistorin says, yes, I agree with you, but the point is indemnity forms are nothing new, and the fact that corona can be contracted anywhere, you can't expect government to take responsibility. Technically, they have no control over our kids' movement, which makes it hard.
No, they only have control over when the kids should go back to school.
Yes.
That's the point.
If you know you can't keep them safe, then why are you telling us to bring them? That is the point that we are trying to make. If clearly, you're so worried about keeping them safe, you want us to sign a form that says you are not going to be responsible should anything happen to them, which means there is clearly a high probability of something happening to them, which you are admitting, by the way. But in any case, that's just me. Wallace Dergat, Vanessa Guibep, Willem Dilipunye. Alright, all joining the show this morning. Lucia saying private schools are clean. There is enough water to go to government schools. People, we can't compare it with our small toddlers.
Huh? Private schools are cleaner?
Yes.
What is that supposed to mean? Like, there
government
will
school.
not be any corona in private schools. Is that what this supposed to mean?
I'm also confused. Initially, I thought that they said the tap.
They were responding to each other.
Oh, they're responding to each other. I think it's talking about the taps, like private schools have taps.
Oh, here's the original comment that she replied to. Most private schools make parents sign indemnity forms every year if anything happens to your child while on their school premises. They will do the best they can by getting him or her to the family doctor. Call the parent, etc. My son goes to a private school, and they said it's voluntary for a parent to allow their school to or their child to go to school from June the 3rd. My opinion is one can't expect the government to take responsibility for something they can't control. Corona is not only found on the school premises.
That's also another way of looking at it.
How will they determine that your child got infected at school and not home, streets, or shopping malls?
What makes it, for me, what makes it wishy-washy is the indemnity form. It's like you're telling us we can go back to work. But you didn't say, they didn't ask the civil servant to sign indemnity, I'm assuming.
Yes.
I'm assuming, I don't know.
Yeah.
I didn't hear of anything.
Yes.
I'm assuming the civil servants that are working in government agencies, ministries, and so forth, they didn't sign over any indemnity form for coming to work. So it's understood that, okay, if you catch it, if you contract it, sorry, askizkhane is to, and hope you get better.
Yeah.
That's what we understand by it. Why is there a need for indemnity form?
Exactly. It's like saying we're gonna throw a party, but if you come catch corona here, it's your own. You just sign an indemnity form.
Yeah.
And esmar eie risiko.
Yes. I mean, we know the risk with sending kids to school. We do know that.
In general.
In
yes.
general,
Yeah.
yes. I still don't really understand why then an indemnity form. Like, it's okay, we understand.
Do they know something we don't?
Yes, that's what triggers me. Like, red flags up.
Shaq Stephen and Yemba, I think 14 days are not enough with them coming from that side.
Probably Walfish Bay.
Yeah. Apis, Absalom, Philippus, Walfish Bay, former junior mayor Omar van Renen led a team of peaceful protesters for George Floyd. Right, I didn't know that.
Where was this?
I'm assuming probably in the coast.
Okay.
Somewhere. But Walfish Bay is in lockdown. Where were you guys protesting? Kanjego Z-Man, kids, they are in danger, seriously. Are they not going back home after school anymore? It's like they go from quarantine to school and from school back to quarantine.
For them in 14 day mandatory quarantine.
Asino Kambikiti, yeah, from about 7 countries in Europe. I will be on the next one. Wait, what did Shax ask? It's another 750 loading.
Probably for the Walfish Bayers.
Yeah.
Binars.
Binars.
I like that program. Apis saying my parents reserves their exceptional right to refuse this assignment. This is tantamount to consent to your child's death. Maybe not in such stark terms, but I get what you're trying to say. Vedi Kaire, some kids school in Windhoek and other towns but locked in Walfish Bay. What happens to them? Yep. Makwa van Makwa, the indemnity signing is very wrong, seriously. So it means when it comes to the coronavirus, the children are ours. But when the same children are abused, they belong to the government. They confess you can.
Yeah.
Bring my country.
Yeah.
Apis Absalom, I will not send my preschool kids to school. Will maybe think of the older ones. You know, I was thinking the same thing, but I don't know which ones are more problematic, the older ones or the younger ones.
No, the younger ones.
And the older ones can go to school and come give it to the younger ones.
Yes.
So there you are.
My soccer problem either way. The older ones is most know. The seniors who are thinking they are grown now.
You know, it's times like this that I wish all kids were like, Mommy, but I didn't say mask. You know those kids.
Yeah.
You know that is what alles klar. Mommy, Peter touched David. Mommy, I wish all kids that were going back to school were those kids.
Those pimpers.
Yes.
We used to bully those pimpers.
Yeah.
South Africa made a U-turn until next week regarding the opening of schools from Apis. Yes. Nande Matundu, I received an indemnity form from my daughter's preschool. I informed them that my daughter, who is 4, will sit this one out. Like, how do you social distance toddlers? Go sit in that corner. No, not that corner.
It's going to be difficult.
This is going to be difficult. Simon Amushira, when France opened schools, 70 new infections. Dennis Awasep, good morning. Can the government give us 750? The bars are open so we can buy. Please, I will give it back.
Namibian.
Priorities.
Shaq Stiofe is asking which one. My brother's name is also Amos.
Yeah, it's your brother. Yeah, it's your brother.
Maar jy het nog nie die storie nou vertel.
Nee. Snap. Ons gaat voor toe, papa.
Luister, ons sal hom gaan deurgaan. Neville doesn't want to share the tea. Maar the teapot is sitting outside there. Ons sal
Alright. Praat julle se stories.
Veiko Shihama, morning my people, watching you from Walvis Bay. Apis, we are still hanging in there. Simon, Maria, lady. Yeah.
Estla. That's enough. He said it.
Oh, I thought this. What is the rest of the comment?
No.
Oh, okay.
Nostanji.
So.
Yeah.
I woke up like this.
I woke up.
Good morning, Donovan. Hanmer.
Oh, it's Donovan upstairs.
Is that Donovan's surname?
That's Hanmer, yeah.
I didn't know. Donovan, you have an interesting surname, sir.
Donovan is funny cop.
Yeah, I can. Donovan is funny cop. And Ndema Tundu say, I guess it is to accommodate government schools. Okay, I don't know what that is about. Ons gaan vorentoe. Pas op.
Daar sê, ons gaan vorentoe, papa.
Okay, Champiano Bobo Saron Omar Renen is in the States, not in Walvis Bay.
Oh, so you led the demonstration in the States.
Oh, okay.
That's very commendable.
Yeah.
I think I'm seeing a lot of. I saw a poster last night. Even our brothers and sisters in Helsinki are also taken to the taken to the streets. So, yeah, we're seeing a domino effect.
I was telling Cubase this morning. You know what, Maria? I was almost in tears last night when I saw an image of these officers apologizing to the protesters by taking a knee. You had a string of police officers last night saying, you know what, on behalf of all police officers out there, this is not who we are. So the symbolism of it last night was quite striking, and to see them kneeling with the protesters in America, yeah, that was quite something. I think in the midst of this crisis that America is going through, and then you have a fool of a president in the name of Donald J. Trump.
When the looting starts, the shooting starts.
Yeah, it's this guy. I'm telling you guys, and I said this to you yesterday, Maria, if Donald Trump
gets another term,
I'm telling you, then this guy is good.
No, then he's got a witch doctor.
Then he's got a witch doctor in Katima or something.
Yeah, no.
Because with so many things that this guy has been doing, I mean, he fails, I think, in his response to the coronavirus. I mean, the stuff that he's saying at the moment due to this crisis in America, he keeps on tripping over his own feet.
When we had demonstrators, armed demonstrators, that were protesting the lockdown or
yes,
what, remember, we had people in public spaces with guns, weapons, protesting, and Donald tweeted, "Oh well, go negotiate, go talk to them. People are just frustrated.
Yeah.
They have a right to be, very civil." And then you had non-violent, because you need to remember the violence came on. Like the initial demonstration was very non-violent.
Non-violent protest, yeah.
Protesting. People came, and he came on and he called them thugs. So language is a problem.
We're gonna get them with vicious dogs.
Yes, and
vicious dogs.
I mean, I remember he was comparing even the colonial time, like during the slave trade time, where he was comparing how black people have freedom now and they shouldn't complain, but he was like, in the good old days, they would be.
I remember that speech.
I said, good old days? Good old days? That's like you're reminiscing about a certain era.
But Donald does that to speak to his base, because he knows his base, like the core of his support is racist white America, rural white America. And he knows these guys want to hear stuff like that. And you know, the problem is also the media, right? They amplify this guy's voice so much. Everything that Trump says or that he does,
you can't ignore it.
Is on TV non-stop.
Yeah, but you can't ignore it. And the thing is, he's got a Twitter account.
Yeah.
So he's doing it like even if the media is not anyway.
By the way, that was the worst mistake I made following Trump on Twitter.
No, don't ever follow him. Just read his things.
But then again, you know what this? I think it's quite commendable for young white Americans to stand side by side with African Americans through this whole protest, and you can really see them. If you would compare pictures of today of protests compared to 1967 with Martin Luther King marching, you would see sporadically one or two white people in a march like that. So for that, I mean, the images that you see today, for me, that's quite commendable. Trump will not last this election.
Yeah,
I think the youth will really come out this time around to say we need to get this guy out of office.
But
I would love to see him eat humble pie.
It depends on who the other candidate is.
It's Biden.
there's Biden and what's the other one?
And how much?
No, it's Biden.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean,
but Biden is like Obama, so
yeah.
Like,
But he's like a stooge of Obama. He doesn't sound like his own man. That's my problem.
that's what I'm saying. Like, if you don't have a candidate that can inspire, especially those young people. Like, remember, most of this millennial crowd was rallying behind Bernie Sanders.
yes.
Bernie's
Sanders
too
for me.
old, man.
Yeah, but Sanders would have been. He's still got 10 years in him.
How is Bernie too old? So is Thingy Biden.
The problem is Bernie is not well. He's not healthy.
Bernie came on the campaign rally, whatever, with a bandage and coming out of hospital, still screaming at the top of his lungs.
That's the problem.
No, but
That's
Bernie,
energetic
yeah,
for
no,
you.
I would have liked
bypass.
Bernie.
I would have also preferred Bernie over Biden.
Bernie was standing with black people years before.
Since day one. Yeah.
Yeah, so Bernie would have been my candidate as well. Not that I'm American. Not that I would vote for Biden anyway because of his sexual assault claims against him.
Alleged.
It doesn't matter.
Would you vote for Trump?
Hell no.
Just grab him.
No. Hell no.
Come on, if you're a star, they let
You
you
know.
do whatever you want. How did this guy become president or shitty?
Come on, man.
Oh,
Like
my
you
God.
earlier said, he is really playing to his base.
Yeah. Because all those things, even all those, send them back. Like, you know what? His rhetoric against immigrants, that was all just to stoke up his base. He will say something today, and tomorrow he will flip flop and say the opposite, the exact opposite. And
where's his wall?
Yeah,
Where's his wall? It's 4 years down the line.
Mexico is paying for it.
But don't forget, people are living in cages, so I guess.
Oh yeah.
And he will go out and say the wall has been built, it's big, it's beautiful. And the Mexicans are not coming through our borders anymore, folks. They're not coming through our borders.
No, I was actually watching a documentary. You should watch it. I'll recommend. I'll plug you on Netflix on Trump.
Plug you.
Yeah, Mos.
Is
I'm that girl.
Is the new documentary?
I don't know if it's new, but it talks about even him becoming a president. So it starts just basically the life of Trump.
Oh, I've seen.
Yes, it was very interesting. But yeah, it's nothing new. Like for example, when he was opening casinos, he knew nothing really about the casino business. So this journalist made like 6 points, like false points about the casino business, and kind of asked him questions relating to those falsehoods, seeing if Trump will correct. And he kind of apparently just worked in those falsehoods into his answers. So he's just always been that guy, you know. And he doesn't say much. All his rhetorics are like, "It's wonderful. It's going to be great. It's going to be amazing.
It's going to be big.
It's going to be big. It's going to be beautiful." That,
amazing people.
Yes.
but that is his style of, like, he can't even speak. Like
the guy can't speak common sense.
Like a normal person.
Yeah.
That's why he always does those press conferences standing by the helicopter. I'm sure he's not going anywhere, just so he can scream because the helicopter is loud. Because otherwise it would sound weird when he's just standing there screaming at two reporters.
Conspiracy theories.
Yes, what other American president have you seen is always about to get on the plane before they talk to reporters?
Yeah, and then he shouts and they say, "Okay, sorry, I gotta go."
Yeah, precis. That's what it is.
So can you finish up now? We gotta go.
Gates. Guyton Curtis saying, "Love out loud, Maria. If you think Namibia isn't tolerant about gay people, try crossing the border even within SADC. I mean, you guys even have Mr. Gay Namibia." So,
Yes, and so what does that mean? It's still illegal to be gay here. It's not like in South Africa. So I'm crossing the border into South Africa where gay marriage is allowed. So I'm still good. What's the argument?
Ndambe Haikali. MLK was peaceful but was assassinated violently. Mandela was non-violent and arrested.
Mandela was violent.
Rachel Winnie was the most dangerous one, apparently. They feared Winnie more than they feared Nelson.
You don't go for Colin Kaepernick. How do you say? Kaepernick.
Yeah.
Took a knee to protest peacefully, and 4 years later he remains unsigned. A quarterback in the prime of his life.
We're gonna gag that nigga.
Yeah, so don't tell me about peaceful protesting. It's boring.
There's no. I just don't.
We didn't win this. The liberation struggle wasn't won by us begging
because you're not gonna get it
for ourselves to be seen as human. South Africa, they used to have a lot of we didn't really have protesting in Namibia as much. South Africa is known for protesting, and that's how they get the messages. So we know violent protesting works. I mean, and I'm an anti-violent person, but for this, like bringing down a whole system that doesn't see you first as a human being, I support. Next.
This I was listening to who was it? I think Don Lemon or whoever.
Don Lemon.
Yes. Yeah, it's like, when the cops walk up to you in the States as a black man, they see everything except for you. They see your surrounding, they see what you are carrying, but they see everything except for you, the human being. So it becomes kind of difficult to engage with somebody who already has made up their mind about you and who you are and what kind of person you are before they even start engaging you.
And they say this system is so violent against black. It's such a violent system that you can't fight it with water guns. You know what I mean? It's like they're coming with guns and you're coming with a water gun. It's almost like fire meets fire.
It's like what this one guy said in this one video, and I mean he says, you know what? 437 years ago, when the first black people were brought to America, these people were not brought to America to basically become part of American society. They were brought here as slaves.
Yes.
They never
in chains. Violent as they come.
Exactly. And the slave trade of America in the 1600s, the 1700s, it was violent. So they never thought that these people would actually be part of American society one day. And how many runaway slaves were killed back in the day who revolted? Thousands, millions of slaves. And those slave patrols that they had for about 300 years, that basically propelled them into the American police force that you have today. That's just my theory. That conditioning of that I can hunt down a black man with impunity in the streets of Atlanta, Georgia. If I think you are a criminal, my son, let's get into a pickup or bakkie. And this is what happened with this armory.
It's I just have to racial profile you.
And then I can go
I can go and kill. Oops, I thought it was Johnny.
I thought his phone was a gun.
That broke into my house.
Yes. They showed a white guy last week. And this guy put a GoPro on his forehead. And he took a big screen TV and he said, I'm going to run down the same street now. He ran down that street for at least 5 to 6 kilometers. So I'm going to show you, nobody's going to stop me. Nobody's going to ask me anything.
It's like, where are you coming from with that
Nothing.
TV?
Because why? Because of the color of my skin.
You should have then given the GoPro to a black person and let's also see the contrast. Every 5 minutes.
Hey nigga, where you going?
Who are you? Show me your ID.
Where'd you get that TV? Okay, by the way guys, before we go, I just want to inform you guys, there's an interesting conversation happening later on Informanté Radio with Dirkas and Harold Schmidt.
Oh yeah.
Yes, I got the name correct, right? He is from the trucking industry. Of course, we have had a lot of issue with the movement of truck drivers and how the industry is at risk, not only for itself and its employees and its staff members, but also for the rest of us, since they are still traveling in and out of the country. So Derkas and Mr. Schmidt will be touching on some of those nitty-gritties at 12 o'clock. You can catch that stream live on Informanté Radio here on Facebook as well. I'm sure it should be an interesting one.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah. From us, I guess it's time to go.
Have a peaceful shopping day today, guys, as from 12 o'clock.
Please don't fight over the alcohol.
And by the way, Mr. Amos, on Salmora Prat.
How do you just put Neville on the spot like that?
That's the whole point. Alright, Mr. Samuel Shines is going to play us out with this one titled Boot Up. Apparently he fixed the sound issue now.